So in this video, I'm basically going to go over the 3 steps that help me prepare and take the ASVAB. I made everything, I compiled everything into about 3 neat steps, and then each steps have different subsets in them. So I'm going to go over these for you guys, and hopefully it'll help you study and prepare to take the ASVAB, hopefully for any branch, okay? So to get started, if you haven't seen my other videos, go ahead and click on those. They're kind of like a precursor to this one, but I'm going to get started. So the first step is get help. Okay, so get help, that means by a tutor. When I first started in high school, about my senior year, I had a tutor. Now I had the tutor for math, but then we also brought him along to help me tutor for the ASVAB. Now that was 2014, so I had a tutor for that for my first time taking it, which I took it in high school 2014. And he only tutored me on math, but it helped immensely because math knowledge and also math math knowledge and arithmetic reasoning. Math knowledge and arithmetic reasoning, those are some things that if you're not so good in math or in the math department, then you should get maybe a tutor to help you. Another one under get help is find a group. So that could be maybe a group at school. If you're at college, I know my college has study groups and different things that you can have. You know, just get a whole bunch of friends or even family members. I had my brother, basically he helped me and he kind of tutored me on things. He's my younger brother, but he's definitely better in math than I am. Workshops, if there's anything in your local area, if there's any workshops, tutoring sessions, groups, anything like that in your area that you can go to. I know different colleges in my area, they have ASVAB study workshops, and so just look up one of those. You can look online for those, anything like that. Okay, so that's the first step, is get help. The second step is find and use materials. So what are your material sources? What are you actually studying from? One of the first ones, of course, is books. If you don't know, one of the main books is going to be ASVAB for Dummies. I did use ASVAB for Dummies. I also used Passkey to ASVAB. That book, those 2 books really helped me. The ASVAB for Dummies one, that one's going to tell you basically how each subset, so the math knowledge, the paragraph comprehension, how that's set up, and maybe the little tips and tricks. I really like that one. If you get the newest edition, I believe it comes with a little CD pack, and it lets you take free quizzes on there for a year, I believe. Also the Passkey ASVAB book, that one also had a little bit of like how to do a problem, and then it would give you a lot of practice quizzes after each section. So I really like that one as well. And the Passkey one is what I used with my tutor when I first took the ASVAB. All right, so those are some of the materials. Also apps, applications on your phone. Doesn't matter if you have Apple, whatever, Apple, Android, doesn't matter. You can find a whole bunch of apps. Websites. So I'll list a couple of websites that I used. Also, of course, YouTube is a great study source material. You can find so many people that help you study. I know one video I really enjoy. He actually goes over each math problem that you would see in the ASVAB. So not every single one, but like these types of math problems, these type of word problems, this quadratic formula, this something like that. He basically goes over each individual type of problem you'll see in the math portion of the ASVAB. So that's a great video. I will link that also. Practice quizzes, you can find those online. Obviously they're going to be on those websites that I linked, but you can go and find those anywhere. You can go and print those out online. Make sure it's current, just so you're not taking like a 2003 one or something, and you can just start taking those and you can just get started. The third and final step is practice, practice, practice. No joke, you are not going to be able to study the night before and do it. Now, I know some people who didn't study at all and they got a 60 on their first try, which isn't a horrible score. They got a 60 on their first try, so that's not bad. But you don't really want to do that, because say you can get a 60 on your first try without say you can get a 60 on your first try without studying. Imagine what you can get on your first try if you did study, because 60 is an okay score you can get in, but it doesn't open up all the jobs for you. Okay, so you need to try to get as high as you possibly can so that all of the jobs open up for you and you're not stuck doing something for 4 or longer years that you don't want to do. Okay, so practice, practice, practice. From this app that I have, it is called ASVAB Quiz. It's just one of those. It basically goes over how to study before the exams. So it says a month before the exam. So 30 days before the exam, let the studying begin. So at least 30 days, okay? At least 1 month. If you have shorter time, that's okay, but at least 30 days. Take ASVAB practice quizzes, okay? You need to be studying throughout the day. So once you take those different practice quizzes, you can see what areas that you're lacking in, and then you can kind of study on those throughout that month. The next one is 2 weeks. So 2 weeks before the test day, you want to make sure that you are studying at least once a day, at least an hour a day, or you know, those 2 weeks before, you're going to be taking a lot of the practice quizzes, a lot. But definitely at least look at it once a day. Also, some of the apps that we have available to us, they are great at reminding. You can get an alarm on some of the apps that will ring when it's time to study, and you can set it for whatever time you'd like. So that's some of the great features that they have. Now, all of the apps that I have chosen, they were free, but you can always purchase them if you like, but the free ones work just as fine. I wouldn't spend that money on those unless you really needed it and just couldn't find a tutor, couldn't find anybody to help you. Maybe that's something, but YouTube pretty much has that covered. The day before the test, you want to make sure you have no anxiety. You need to just relax. Maybe study 1 hour in the morning, and then throughout the day, you're just kind of reviewing a little bit. You can also get everything prepared. So you need your ID, your social, different things like that. Call up your recruiter, make sure everything's good. Just want to make sure it goes smoothly that day. Because if you're like me and had to travel to take the test a while, then you don't want to get there and then they deny you because you forgot something or you don't have some paperwork or something like that. So you can call the day before your recruiter, just make sure everything is good, everything's in place, and you got it, okay? So those are my 3 tips. So one more time, it is get help, find and use material, and practice, 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 okay? So I hope these 3 tips help you immensely. I hope that you take it seriously, because it is 4 to however many years you're in the military that you will have this job. Obviously, you can cross-train. Basically, cross-training is just when you're in there for, I believe, 2 years, going on your 3rd year, you can cross-train into another job. But you have to have that score still. So you can retake the ASVAB in the Air Force, but you know, you've been out of school for a while probably, so maybe it's not as fresh, but you can always study again, and you can do that. So I wish you all good luck, and study on, okay? Bye.